Right. We've got a caller. We've got a caller on the line, Wes.
Okay.
Come on in, caller. Welcome to the show.
Well, I'm not in law enforcement either, but I'm going to totally disagree with your whole take on this county-mounty type of thing.
Okay.
I live in the county. Don't get me wrong. But where is the sheriff's department? It's in the city. They have to travel to and from the sheriff's department. Within 2 miles of where I live, there are 3 sheriff's deputies who live out here.
Right.
And they have their cars with them.
Right.
If something would come up, they could get in their car and come to the scene.
Mm-hmm.
I know it's a large county. It's not near as big as the county I lived in Colorado. It was as big as the state of New Jersey.
Right.
And it was, talk about sparsely populated. It was
Sure.
no man's land most of the places.
Sure.
But I can't let you get by with the way you're speaking of not stopping someone unless they're going 15 over. The law is the law is the law. Come on. Get a clue. They're not out there setting speed traps. I remember a time I lived in Illinois, and they had speed traps, guys pulling boats alongside the road as their speed trap. They would be laying in wait for you. I have a very big respect for the law enforcement in this area. I don't think you are being very informed in the way you're speaking of them.
Okay. Well, you're certainly entitled to your opinion.
Well, I know I am, and I'm glad you let me on the air to speak it.
Sure. This is your call, pal. I mean, you're welcome to come on here and say whatever is on, as long as it's clean and it doesn't violate FCC law,
I understand. But I just can't let you guys go and rail against the police departments because they're doing their job.
Okay, so let me clarify. I don't think Ellison is doing that. I think it's my opinion you're objecting to.
Well, it is your opinion I'm objecting to. I'm not talking about any of the people. I'm not talking about the race for this or the race for that or who's running for this and who. It's just the way you're putting it all over.
Okay,
I'm objecting to.
And you're entitled to that opinion. We got to take a break, and thanks for the call, by the way. We appreciate it, even when it's against my opinion.
Okay.
Thank you.
You bet. Bye.
We've got to take a break, folks. We'll be right back. This is the quarter-hour break, and we're going to have about 15 more minutes with Wes. Please give a call in here and ask questions related to your concerns or issues with the Texas County Sheriff's race. And I'm going to give out Wes's information again right after the break. We'll be right back. Jump. All right, and we're back with a song called Jump. By the way, that's a good idea for you folks. Jump to EllisonForSheriff.com. My producer's laughing at me. He's like, "You're such a jerk." Jump onto this website and educate yourself about what Wes's positions are in this Texas County race. It is EllisonForSheriff.com. ELLISON for FOR, not the number, sheriff.com. EllisonForSheriff.com. His telephone number, if you don't have internet access, is 417-252-1752. Now, those of you who listen to this show know that my number one position here is always educate yourself, understand the issues that you're concerned with, and then be articulate, reasoned, and logical in those arguments, and be able to communicate your position on whatever it is that you've taken an interest in. So, and then once you know that and you believe in what you profess to believe in, take action. And so the only way that you're ever going to find out is by reading. Get to Ellison's site, educate yourself about what his positions are, and then if he's the right guy for the job for you, support him. If you can't donate money, and by the way, I'm sure he can use some cash, but if you can't donate money, then maybe you can put a sign out in the front yard. You can lick stamps or stuff envelopes or make telephone calls. Even if you just call 10 of your friends and say, "Hey, go to this guy's website." Maybe you can just email 10 of your friends with his link. Okay, that's enough of my pitch. I don't want to eat up your time. So let's talk a little bit about the issue of, by the way, that last caller kind of dressed me down for talking ill of law enforcement. And if I came off that way, that's certainly, I don't disrespect law enforcement. I just want to make sure that law enforcement's doing what law enforcement, in my opinion, is supposed to be doing. So tell us now. You've got 3 years as a canine handler,
Right.
and you've been in the Winona Police Department for the last 7 months, right?
Well, I was at Winona Police Department for 7 months, and then I came to Willow Springs.
Okay, I got you. But you've got 28 years of overall law enforcement.
Right.
Now, what's the highest position that you've been in law enforcement?
I've been a sergeant.
Okay.
Sergeant with Maricopa County, and I was a sergeant at Winona, actually, before I left.
Okay, so you've got some, experience handling a staff or a group of individuals or a team underneath you.
Yeah, with Maricopa County, I was actually in a specialized unit, and we provided law enforcement in the National Forest as well as all the recreational areas, and we had certain communities in those areas. And I actually had probably a couple $1 million facility and equipment and guys that were assigned under me that I was in charge of.
I got you. Okay. So tell us your plans, because we've got about 10 minutes left. Tell us your plans for what you're intending to do when you get into Texas County. I mean, how are you going to change things?
Well, again, first I want to get in there and restructure the office and get manpower where manpower needs to be, and that's out in the county and on patrol. And get that personal contact with people. One of the things that we had in Maricopa County was a posse, and I would really like to look into starting a posse that could actually provide a deterrent by being out on patrol in a marked car, and those guys would be trained. They would not have powers of arrest, but they would be trained, in handling themselves and in firearms, and pretty much it'd be like a real short academy type thing.
Yeah, wait a minute now, because you just piqued my interest.
Okay.
I've heard the term Sheriff Joe Arpaio's posse, but
Right.
I don't understand what that meant.
Well,
I mean, I understand what a posse is, but I don't understand what that posse does in terms of what's their capabilities, what are their limitations, and what authority, if any, do they have? Are they just simply eyes and ears out there?
They're eyes and ears, and we called them second man qualified, which meant they could ride as a second man in a car, or they could take a patrol car and just be eyes and ears out there. They did not have powers of arrest. They could not stop people. They could transport prisoners for the guys that were out in the field. They
Okay.
could answer alarm calls. They could answer barking dog calls, some of the minor stuff that really a deputy doesn't need to be on.
Are they armed?
They are. Some of them were armed, some of them were not.
And are they actually deputized, or I guess I don't understand. Are they paid? Is it volunteer?
They're not paid. It's all volunteer.
Okay. So, and I'm assuming if they're armed to be able to
Take action on a felony in progress or protect themselves or someone else.
Okay. Is that legal in the state of Missouri? How do they handle that,
That I don't know, and I have to do some research on that. So
Okay. I'm curious about it because I'm wondering how, what the legal ramifications of that are, right?
Right, and that's things that I need to find out, and I might not even be able to do it right now. The neighborhood watch program's out there, and I know, I'd like to enhance that and get those people trained. I've had some of them tell me that they've asked for like CPR training or stuff like that, which would be great because normally they're the first person on, in their neighborhood on a injured or sick person, and I think that the office should give them that training.